I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling someone this. I don't know why this is happening or what's going through my head. I've been trying to apply for jobs lately. I'll try to make this quick, but like I feel like there's just a lot that's seemingly relevant. I've tried to apply for jobs lately. And of course the jobs that I want, because let me tell you, I've worked in a kitchen for 20 plus years. It was great. It will never happen again. It was a perfect team of people who all got strategically moved by God's hands, and I'll never doubt that. From where they were to where we all ended up meeting up within just about 3 years time. And that'll never happen again, and I understand that. Okay, so where was I? So I've been applying for jobs, and I don't want to work in a kitchen anymore. Let me tell you something. When I was pregnant with my... First off, diabetes kills. Oh, it'll take so many years to kill. When I was pregnant with my second-born son in 2015, I decided to be a stubborn, ignorant, and that's it. So that was it. 110%. I own that. Stubborn, ignorant, just... You know, like my mom, oh, whatever, I can't be, blah, 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 blah. And then I literally went to my doctor, me, a non-doctor, by the way. The only degree I have is a diploma and an associate's in criminal justice, but I can put 2 and 2 together, and it equals 4. So my firstborn son, let's go with this. My firstborn son had hypocalcemic seizures when he was born, ended up in the hospital at 8 days old. And he was having seizures before that. And I was like, dude, my bro's having some seizures. I'm pretty sure someone who's never seen a seizure in her life, live and in person. So anyway, so I got pregnant again, 2015. He was due in September 28th. And he ended up being a stillbirth delivery at Cincinnati. And so I went to my doctor, though, before that, right? Like in 20-some weeks, she was still trying to get me to take the diabetes test, go take the diabetes class. And I was just like, ugh, who has time for this? I know how to take care of myself. I'll just eat healthy and do the thing. But I wasn't eating healthy and I wasn't doing the thing. I was being the stupid. And so I had a really high blood pressure. I was like, I have more to worry about than freaking blood sugar levels, lady. Are you kidding me? So, like I said, diabetes kills. Hang on. Listen. So, be patient with me. Woo, I'm all over the place. Okay, coffee. And so, I go in for an appointment. I sit down in her office. Yes, her office, not in the room with the table. I'm talking about the room with the desk and the computer and the bookshelf behind me. And I sit in her big, cozy leather chair. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's having seizures. And she's like, I just had a non-stress test done, right? Everything was fine, basically. Which wasn't fine because I was struggling to get him to move. So anyway, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's having seizures inside me. And she's like, no, he's fine. Okay, sure, whatever, bitch. So, sorry. Oh, whew, yeah. Again, I take every bit. Ah! But it wasn't just me who dropped the ball, okay? And like I said, I didn't have no degree in a medical. I'm not like a doctor or nothing, you know what I mean? So like, might as well fucking be. Might as well give me a PH motherfucking D here, okay? Because let me tell you what I do here, right? Okay, so calcium, like I said, my son, right? My firstborn son in 2011, he was born in 2011, he had hypocalcemic seizures. Hypocalcemic. Hypo means low, okay? So you're saying like hypo, and there's hyper. Hyper is more, hypo is less, okay? So he was like hypoallergenic. He is, like, it's bad. We got like eczema, something fierce. So anyway, no, like, he had hypocalcemic seizures after he was born, went to Cincinnati. We were up there for a while, tested him, did this, did that, had him on medication. Turns out probably I just wasn't giving him enough milk, / he came out of my diabetic body, and his shit was all unbalanced, and he wasn't producing his own stuff, and it was a whole situation. So, my son, second one, same dad, same mom, okay? And I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure he's having seizures inside of me. She's like, no, he fine, dog. That was like 21, 22 weeks. 27 weeks. Poof! He gone. So, yeah, and the nurse was like, I heard her. Like, people are so, I don't know if they thought I didn't hear. I don't know. So, I go to this doctor and I'm like, yo, I'm pretty sure he's having seizures inside me. And she's like, nah, brah, he's fine. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, you're the doctor. God will bring you through it to bring you to it, to give you a story to teach the others, to lead, to follow, to bring them along. Okay, so that all happens, whatever. He dies. I keep thinking it's the blood pressure. I think I googled some stuff, but anyway, when it comes down to it, again, no PhD, no doctor, no nothing, no science, no biology, just what I had in school. Calcium. And diabetes and bad blood sugar and all that is directly related, you know, blood sugar levels, calcium, magnesium, something to do with your liver filtration, blah, 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 right? So I'm like, okay, it was definitely the diabetes that killed him, no matter what someone else thinks, says, feels, whatever. So that's like straight up right there, okay? So I'm just telling you right now, like, don't play. This isn't a joke. It's never been a joke. People make fun of everybody for being on whatever. I don't even know. Is it GLP-1s, this, that, and the other? I wish I could. I wish somebody would give it to me. But my doctor was like, you're not a diabetic. I was a gestational diabetic every single time I was pregnant. Which made me get more serious after the fact about my health in general. And eating healthier and being healthier and getting stronger. And instead of my life declining constantly, I wanted instead to create. See, everyone wants to fight over creation and evolution. There is no fight. It's both. You create, you evolve. You create, you evolve. Things are evolved into a new creation. We're creators. Women, females, X chromosome. I don't care what you think, who you are, what they told you, or what religion. I love God. God loves me. And we are one, masculine, feminine. Okay? But, yeah. So that happened. And I worked at McDonald's with a girl. And she had said something about she's been passing out and this, that, and the other, and her blood sugar this or something. And I was like, listen, I said, I'm not your doctor, and I'm not going to tell you what to do. I would not normally speak up, but I was not about to let my own foolish, ignorant, egotistical, insecure fear of somebody, whatever, keep me from telling this girl. And I said, yo, it sounds like your blood sugar. I was going through the same stuff. My son died. I don't want your kid to die. From what I know of to this day, she's probably got, my daughter's 9, she's 7. She's probably got a 6-7-year-old son. I think it's a son. And by the way, for some reason, it does tend to be boys. Like, in our family, at least, I know, like, we have trouble birthing boys. There is some hormonal thing. There's some genetic thing. There is something. So anyway, and I will say that my son, who was stillbirth, Evan, he, when they did do some testing and stuff, again, amniocentesis, if you've never had one, I don't know why I said again, I haven't told you about that, but I had a perinatal amniocentesis done with him and with my firstborn son, William. I had 2 of them, with, I think, both of them at least, and it's where they take like a foot-long needle. I know that's not a foot, but that's as good as I can get. I swear to God, it like 6 to 12 inches, I swear. But I couldn't pay attention. I had to close my eyes, breathe, meditate, not feel. They take that and shove that into your stomach or like your belly button, whatever, or somewhere near it, and take out fluid. Well, in my case, they weren't just taking it from inside of me to test. They were taking it from inside my son's chest to test it, because they're like, why is there fluid in there where it doesn't belong? Because he's got developing lungs, and if it runs out of room, he's going to suffocate inside there. He's essentially drowning. And I think that was kind of like what I read had happened, and that's why I thought that it was blood pressure. Sorry, 1,500 interruptions, which I'm sure is fine. So, all of this to say, okay, I've been applying for jobs, right? And like I said, I loved the crew I worked with, the kitchen, all the things, and it's like that, right? You go looking for a job, and nowadays it's like, well, you're not qualified because you don't have experience, what they call experience. But what these people, and especially young people, I don't care if I don't have the experience. I don't care if I've never, like, let's say I want a clerical job, which I do. I don't care. I don't care what somebody walks in there with, what experience on paper they walk in there with. No one is going to be more of an asset to you, to your job, to your business, to your whatever work goals that you have than I will be. Yes, I am very confident to tell you that. I'm also so confident that when I fill out my applications and they say, what would your most recent employer or supervisor or manager say? Would you be among the best? Abso-fucking-lutely I would. I am absolutely among the best employees. I show up the most. I am the most reliable. I'm the most loyal. All the things. I'm the most apt to want to learn new things. I will learn them, and I can teach myself anything I already know. Because I had to. I had to teach myself. And we won't, I don't know, maybe we should, but like, as someone, I'm not diagnosed nothing. I'm diagnosed nothing other than self-diagnosed bipolar and depressant years ago, okay? Which should have never really been a thing, but whatever, we're going to let that lie there. One, I can type 160 some words a minute, and that is not a joke. I did Mavis Beacon and all that back in the day in school. We did typing class 2 years in a row, 7th and 8th grade. 8th grade, I finished the entire thing. The first 9 weeks, and me and a few other girls ended up working in our high school print shop, is what it was called. We had a teacher who was the computer technology coordinator, teacher person thing, and she taught like web classes. She taught classes where students pulled the computers apart and put them back together and learned the stuff on the inside. Now, I didn't do any of that. I wish I had, but I didn't. 9:57 on the clock. And but in 8th grade, me and a few other girls who finished the program early, the Mavis Beacon typing and all that, she let us start working and helping with the print shop. The print shop essentially literally was what I just said. It's a print shop. People from in the community, around anywhere. We were making and printing and labeling or something, postcards for the United States Postal Service out of Columbus at a high school print shop. Okay. Free labor. Free experience. But because it's called an internship and I didn't get paid to do it, you don't even look into it. I could still give you her name. I could still go on Facebook and text her and be like, what up? I need help getting a job. Put you down for a reference? And she'd be like, alright, cool, do it. Except it's more like, yes, ma'am. Yeah. Because I did it. I spent 5+ hours a day from 8th grade, basically 8th grade, but definitely 9th grade on. Every year, I got more and more. I was in computer classes. I even was a library intern. And you would think I'd mess with books. I didn't. They didn't have me do anything. Occasionally, I checked out some books when people came in there for 1 hour every day. That's it. I wanted to learn. I wanted to do stuff. Back then, I wasn't really the person to speak up and say, yeah, I want to learn that if I'm not comfortable with you. And I didn't feel real comfortable with our librarian at the time. But eventually, I was, like, near the end of the year, I was like, oh, yeah, I would love to try and help you with that. Like, I'll help you pull off the books off the shelves, do inventory, clean them, do this, do that. Yeah, let's do it. I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn how when you look through the little catalogs, but you don't really have to use anymore. But I wanted to learn that. I was like, let's do it. I'm that person. I want to learn all the jobs. I want to do all the jobs. I want to be capable of doing them. And I think everyone should be capable of doing them. And I definitely believe that if you are going to be any kind of a leader, crew leader, shift leader, store manager, blah-de-da-de-blah, you should be able to do every single thing in that store. You should know how everything works. And if it's not like a store like Walmart, okay, there is a lot. So fine, whatever. If you don't really know how to do the paint, or you don't know how to operate a forklift over in lawn and garden, okay, fine, whatever. But if you can't run a register, count money, help with putting the money away at night, things like that, like, you should be able to do multiple things, and then you can start learning those other areas as well. But, like, you should know them. Because, one, you're supposed to be able to cover anytime anyway, right? That's what they want. 110% availability and loyalty to them and only them and never to anyone else. But the point is, it looks great on paper. It looks great on paper to see experience in clerical or experience. I went to school for business. Yeah, I probably should have. I absolutely should have gone out to our local VOTEC, our vocational school, and I should have gone into computer technology. I could have gone into criminology. Could have gone into anything except... But I didn't, and God did it for a reason, and I understand that. I don't hate kitchen work. That isn't it. If I'm at home and I want to cook, and I'm feeling in the mood, like, yes, I'm about to do it. But my creativity and my just personalization to cooking and the fun of it is 110% stifled when you have to work in an environment where, number one, they're like, no, you can't use spices. Are you kidding me? You're telling me I can't use natural herbs from the earth to flavor my food? It's bad enough I can't use salt or pepper. You're telling me I can't even use sage, brown sugar, chili powder, which I have to use for chili, by the way, so I don't know if you figured that one out. I mean, I'm serious, and this is America. It is the greatest, most technologically advanced country on the planet. First of all, no, it's not. Stop lying to us. We're not idiots. But yeah, here's the thing. When I work in a kitchen, I have sinus problems constantly. Like I said, what did I say earlier? Were you listening? Did you keep up? Okay, 13:47 on the clock. Don't know if it's relevant, just letting you know. Ooh. Chest pain? Right chest pain? Okay. Latex free or not, the gloves make my hands break out. The fact that my hands are constantly in and out of water, my hands break out. They stay wet. I have what's called wet eczema. Before my stillbirth son Evan was stillbirth born, we're going to Cincinnati, having things looked into, doing blood work, doing this, doing that. Again, they told me like he was missing a piece of the 13th chromosome, 9 or 13. I don't know, my brain does things, but one of those. He was missing like a piece of that. We weren't sure if it was relevant, la la la. But they also, they looked into my son William, the firstborn, and they were like, la la la, yeah, he's got all this eczema. It's called wet eczema, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, I know, 1437, literally, like, what's happening here? And so that's when I just started going, you know what? Maybe I'm not really allergic, which I am, like, sensitive. I'm not allergic to rubber, like to any form of rubber, any form of anything. I can't even wear, like, everybody wears those little, they're like spandex. What are they called? Are they polyurethane? No. Poly something, polyester, poly this, poly that, all this, all that, stretchy. I can't wear any of it. I'm 100% cotton, 110% cotton, if you got it. Because it burns me up. It's so hot. I don't know how they're like, yeah, I'm working out my Lululemons. And I'm sweating off everything except what I need to be. I'm literally sweating my ass off. And in case you haven't noticed, I don't really have one. I got the upper half, the front upper. I don't have the back lower. I ain't got it. It is not a thing. I'm working on it though. So, but yeah, like, these things look good on paper and everybody's like, yeah, it's gotta be this, it's gotta be that. But, like, experience is so... I want to say underrated, but that is not even the word. People, the way America's been built as of late, I could cry. I think we all could. It's ridiculous. There is nothing that you can't pay for experience. You can't pay for loyalty. You can't pay even for the abrupt, brutal, oh, I'm so blunt, too blunt for you experience. Like, you can't. And people are like, I would just rather, we just sweep it under the rug, okay? And let's make up excuses and say, like, oh, we didn't make that mistake. Honey, I made the mistake. I make mistakes. And I know exactly what happened and exactly what went wrong. And I can tell you how I'm going to fix it. But that, they don't value that anymore. No one does. No one values that. So, again, yeah, I'm rusty on the computer program skills. You know why? Because you have to pay money to have Microsoft. I have it installed on my laptop, but I have to pay a monthly or yearly fee to even use the program? What? I'm sorry, what? I buy a disc in Walmart to put in my Xbox and I still have to pay for and download something else to even use that disc? What? And you people let America become this 1717 on the clock? What? Who are we talking to? So, what come to my mind when this was happening and I started talking about all of this, because like I said, I came here to tell you diabetes kills. That's the number one thing I came to tell you. So if that's all you needed to hear and you got it and you left, cool. Have a great day. I love you. The other thing was where I said all of this to say, I hope you're okay, but you're the reason. And I don't know why, but like, essentially, and I don't know the rest of that song, that's just what came to me. So, Taylor Swift, in case you need to know. But for me, the point is definitely, like, I hope we're all okay, and life is evolving, and I'm gonna be alright, and you're gonna be alright. And, but you're the reason I'm here. You're the reason I'm here. I want to tell you this. I want to tell you. I want you to receive it. I want you to know. I want you to comprehend. I want you to understand. I want you to look at the world differently. I don't want you walking around here going, well, that person's, like, obviously can't read the room, so what a weirdo. The person who can't read the room is probably the best person in the room. Now, I can read a room, but I can choose to ignore a room. And I will. I will. Nowadays, because what I used to do was people please and hide and fawn and flight. I never fought. It was fawn and flight. Even in the middle of a real fight, literally people putting their hands on me. I can name at least 3, and I won't give their actual names, but throughout my lifetime, 4. And I'm that person, right? That's like, you hit me, but all I'm really doing is deterring you, like stopping you. And it's like, please, 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 please. I'm being so real. It's not a threat. I'm not saying it to scare anybody. I scare myself. I'm not saying shit to scare shit. I scare myself. When I do lose it, you're bipolar, you're having a manic episode, or I'm a fucking werewolf, let's say it. Let's call it what it is. I'm a werewolf. Let's be real. Even now, which it's supposed to be non-affecting of the hormones, not supposed to affect your hormones to have a hysterectomy the way I had it, or to have the ablation, because I had the uterine ablation or whatever, because I had bad, I don't know if I had PCOS all the time. One time my doctor said, hold on, different doctor than the one, because obviously I switched doctors, hold up, in case, because sorry, that's me. After I had my firstborn son with this one doctor, who all my sisters also had gone to, or several of my sisters, at least like 2 of them, and I was like, cool, I'll go with them. 2014, and I know 2015 is relevant to me on the clock. I just got nauseous, I'm sorry. 2014, 2015. 2015 is the year that obviously I had Evan. He was supposed to be born in September, but instead he was born July 10th. Only he was born dead, so he was never really born. So it's like a whole situation. After that happened, I can remember I was passing McDonald's and this other little convenience store at a Taco Bell, and I was on the phone with the clinic, and I was telling them, like, hey, yeah, I want to switch doctors, blah-de-da-de-blah. Like, and this was really just me being, like, nice and letting them know. I could have just never called them at all, and I guess eventually my doctor might have called over, but from what I've seen, doctors don't even communicate, and if they do, they don't actually look and read their paperwork, except the one that I have now. He's my family doctor or whatever. He does. He'll come in, he knows, he's like, yo, 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 how's this, how's that? He knows my kids by name, he knows my husband by name. But, I call them and I'm like, yo, yeah, I'm gonna switch doctors. Okay, cool. And they're like, essentially, why? You know, they don't say why. They're like, what's the reason? And me, especially then, and sometimes it still hits me now, but like I work harder at it because of this right here I'm going to tell you. My ego goes, bitch, I don't need a reason. I don't need a reason. And my brain, you know, the logical, healthy part said, it's okay, Donna. This is just procedure. Like, they have to write something down. I know, because I've been an employee. See, that's called experience. That's called using your brain. That's something that a lot of people today don't do. It's literally been studied. They're like, hey, all the generations today are missing some cognitive, like, crap. Yeah, no-ish. No-ish. They barely have the one tunnel working. Meanwhile, I've got 25. 25 antennas or more. And if, like, your hair is your antennas, baby, I'm antenna-ing, okay? I'm recepting. I'm perceiving. I'm receiving. But yeah, so I was like, personal preference. They said, why do you want to switch doctors? I said, and I was flustered, and personal preference. Because yes, unless we want to end up on Murder, Mystery, and Makeup Monday with Bailey Sarian, I think most of us want our children to be alive. I mean, I sure do. I don't know about you, but I want my children here alive. So yeah, personal preference. I'm switching fucking doctors. Okay. Duh. So anyway, yeah. And then all this shit about, it's just shit about the stuff about marijuana. The stuff about marijuana. Can't have a job. Can't be a cook. Because it's not federally legal. Well, no shit. Because they cannot control it. Like everything else. There was a few other reasons that I had seen something about. I can't really think of it off the top of my head. That I thought was really, like dosage and stuff. Like, say you say, okay, fine, marijuana's legal now, right? And you can consume it. Because so far, all that I know of, and I haven't Googled it, so please let me know, inform me. Because I love knowledge, and you ain't got to be a dick about it. Just give me knowledge. Enlighten me, you know, seriously, let's share ideas, and that's why we're here, right? That's why we're talking, that's why you're here reading, listening. You were like, whoa, information, man, mind blown, let's do it. 23:37 on the clock a second ago. Seemed relevant, I don't know. And, like dosage, right? If they're like, okay, it's now legal to consume, because as far as I know, it's legal to own up to X amount of plants. Let's say it's 2. I think it is. I don't know. In state, not in federal, okay? Fine. Let's say we then legalize it. Well, first of all, the best way to legalize it in a way that is controllable is for the actual, government or whatever, or whoever, to come in and actually say, okay, this is how much we're going to do, this is how much of that, and to treat it the way they are, I guess, when you get it medically, right? That's pretty much the best way to do that. Say, well, we sell this that has this much of it, and from there, here's your recommended, just like with nicotine, just like with nasty-ass liver decaying sugar, in case you drink alcohol and you think you can't be a diabetic, etc., or you eat potatoes all day and say, well, I never eat sweets. Did you take a basic, I don't even know, food class, a basic science class? Because everything we consume is sugar and is starch. So don't eat potatoes all day and beans and then tell me you can't be a diabetic, but you take a bite of a Milky Way and pass out. But you can't be a diabetic because you don't eat a lot of sweets. Again, I'm not a doctor, but you might as well hand me over a PH mother effing D, because hello. Okay. That's all I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, it's so simple. Yes, I like to do accents, okay? I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm sorry if you hate it. I'm sorry if you think that I'm doing something mean by speaking in accents, but I always wanted to be an actress. And I think I learned to mirror people as, a form of whatever, survival masking thing with ADHD, autism, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just from trauma. It doesn't matter. And also, I admire people. I have always literally admired people. As much as I used to say I hate people. My literal motto and philosophy through junior high and high school was, everything's connected and people make me mad. That was it. Everything. I was going to get it tattooed on me. I kind of have the everything's connected part. If you look into the Celtic, yes, that's what I call it, because I don't think it sounds right going Celtic. Like, I know the word kick, but like Celtic. Celtic. Okay, either one, really. I mean, I like them both. So, Celtic cross. I've got it tattooed on my right hip. It was the first tattoo I ever got. And I did it and went through with it not because of charmed, not because of magic, not because I read that it basically means all things are connected, and they are. It's that infinity vibe, And so I got it for that reason, because I knew that for the rest of my life, this is going to resonate with me. Not because it was Wiccan or whatever. I don't fucking care. But that was my motto. And now it's more like everything, everything is connected. And I love people. And I need to be brave and have courage. I saw something recently that said, it doesn't matter what your virtues are. This is essentially what it said, not verbatim. It doesn't matter what virtues you have if you don't have courage. And that's like that is big for me. This right here, this is big for me. And I'm going to have 0 watches. I'm going to have 0 views on this. I already know it off the top. And I can get 3,000 views and I'll have 1 like. And I'll have 1 comment, but it'll either be some fake scam account or it'll be somebody saying some BS. Saying something just mean and hateful, and there's no use for it. There's not. Although, go ahead and do it because it keeps my video in the algorithm, so thank you! Thank you! Alanis Morissette, baby. Yeah, so diabetes kills. Follow your intuition. Like, listen, seriously. Do your own research. And I think I told that girl that too. I said, listen, I'm not your doctor. I'm not a doctor. But I'm telling you, I lived through this, and do your own research and trust your gut. And she was like, oh, yeah, I am. And I hear that from a lot of people. But for one, we don't really know what those words mean until we do it. Trust your intuition, blah, blah, blah. We don't get it. No, stand in your power, baby. You can be wrong. That's fine. Don't stand in your ego. Stand in your power. Your power to speak up. Like this right here. Like, whoa, mirror, hey. Like, legit. Like, the power to speak up. The power to share. The power to say, yeah, I don't know everything. Yeah, I'm not the best, but I can do this. And I know I can. I know it. But experience isn't valued. And I'm going to share my experiences probably from now on for the rest of my life, because I've been trying to make it in this, I guess, influencer for years, but I guess I wasn't really being my authentic self. I was trying to kind of imitate whatever, the rhythm of everyone else, the tone of everyone else, the energy of everyone else. And that's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. And that's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. And we got enough of those people, so, like, we don't need that. The birdies are eating the... Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry you're looking at my face the whole time I'm talking. It's boring. I'm rocking in a chair. There's nothing entertaining. I'm not putting makeup on. I'm not anything except talking to you. But I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. I gotta be real honest. Today, in this world, this is actually... and it sounds so stupid. I know, like, you know, you'll get on social media or just whatever, and, like, random strangers, usually men, will message women, and they'll be like, hi, I'm looking for someone, just a friend to talk to, and I'll send you so much money. But first you have to send me some money to make sure that you're real. Keep going. Scroll on, bro. That's never gonna happen. Who's that? And I don't want to say, who's that? Ow, naive, gullible, like, who is that? Who's she? Bro, you got the wrong one. You got the wrong one. And I'm not like I said, I'm not like the person who's going to come out right and be a dick. Dickalicious, ridiculoso. I'm not that person. Like, I can be. Trust that. Again, it's not a threat. It's not to scare you. There's no hate, anger, fear. There's no projection. There's no, because I'm still scared. But that part of me, that adult part of me, this is important too. I might cut this down and make this a short part. The part of me, I'm 37 years old, going on 38 in November. I'm a Sagittarius. The part of me that I think we're supposed to be, you know, they consider us an adult by 18. We're not, especially the last few generations, we're not. And you know why? Because we were scared. We were scared into not being. We were so scared into not being adults. What do I mean by that? I mean, like, someone could have done pretty much anything to me, such as, oh, I don't know, allowed me and someone else to drop the ball and kill my son. And because I was like, oh, well, they're the adult, they're the boss, they're, you know, the authority figure, they know what's up. I didn't have that assertiveness, you know, and I don't have it really bad now. I think I am going to be kind of forced into a place in my life, and I think I'm kind of in it now. I think I'm kind of in this corner, this constant matrixy simulation thing that's just on repeat because I can't make a decision, I can't do a thing, and I can't stick to a thing. That job I had for basically 20 years, I was done with that job when I got pregnant in 2010 and got the job that paid more, had more hours, and was a heck of a lot more responsibility. And I carried so much of a load and put so much on myself because I say I knew, but like, I just figured everybody else wasn't going to do it. It was always, that's not my job. And then when I said it, what did I get? I got, if I hear one more person say it's not my job, and I don't know the rest of that sentence because I was already in my own head, and yeah, I felt like crap. And I wasn't going to speak up, and I did feel bad, but like, I was trying to make a point though too. Like, that's all I was hearing. And I already had the hardest job. And I'm not saying the hardest job. I know the upper people have to do jobs that me, especially back then and probably now. Honey, I didn't have the heart. I didn't have the courage. I didn't have the assertiveness to take on that role. I may never have it. That's fine. Not everybody is that kind of leader. Some of us are like background leaders, you know, what I would call a backseat driver, okay? Like, I have a different idea of what a really good leader is anyway, or what a leader is, like a real leader. But, you know, the kind that steps in and helps when things are overwhelming, or maybe doesn't even wait to that point but can see that it's getting there and steps in. Not the kind that sits in an office and hides and then comes out and yells at everybody because they are getting ripped for everyone else's shortcomings. Now, does that mean I'm going to sit back and put up with some BS? No, it does not. It means I'm going to tell you once, I'm going to tell you twice, and then on the third time, that is it. At that point, you are not capable of doing this job. If I have to come to you 3 times for the same thing, I do not care what your excuse is. That means you're cognitively absent. You aren't here. It means one of 2 things. You don't care, or you cannot do the job. You are not capable of doing the job. That's it. You're fired. Thank you. You have 2 weeks to find a new job. That is literally the best I'm going to give you when I have to come to you 3 times over the same thing. And if I have to keep coming to you about multiple different things, you aren't capable of doing the job. So again, get a new job. Thank you for your time, respectfully. And that being said, I'll even give you a rating. Like, these are the things with who you are that I believe that you would be good at. And if you've been wearing a facade the whole time, that's your problem. But this is my diagnosis. That's another thing I said. Like, if I'm going to keep going on job interviews, I think I should job interview you. Really. That's the truth. You know what I mean? Because again, can you handle the blunt, brutal honesty? Or are you going to come back to me with, that's just the way it is, man. Nothing I can do about it. That's fine. Cool. You don't belong there then, because your job's to communicate with everyone above you, and their job is to communicate with everyone above them, and so on and so forth. It's like, they go and build like a school or a kitchen, and all the things are in all the places that make no sense. You know what I mean? It's like you come to a house, and you're like, oh, we're building a house, but you built the whole thing upside down. Hello? Did you take into consideration that humans were living in it, and we can't, we're not spiders or anything. We can't climb up walls and be upside down and shit. And that's just like a general, really blunt, obvious, but, seriously, these things happen. The common sense that's not. The self-centeredness of, oh, well, we're just going to have one way in and one way out because that's convenient for us and us only. The sense and the non-thought process, the irresponsibility, the self-centeredness of that decision alone, it began me going. Let's open up that conversation. What things have you seen in your life? Because I've seen a lot. What are the things that make you go who thought of this? What? I know recently they did a road up here in one of our little tiny mini town, village, whatever you want to call it. They it was bad though, guys. It's bad. They didn't pave a road. They concreted it. Yes. I mean 110% like it was my driveway. They concreted it. Somebody. I don't know if it's a bunch of young kids that did this. The whole road, the entire way is like this. And not a subtle, you're driving and you don't know. I'm talking, if you're going 25 miles per hour, you're probably, eventually you're going to bust a tire or a rim. The whole fucking road. The whole fucking road. And I'm little things, something that takes extra time and is irritating but makes a big difference. And that, since that's coming up, that's what I'm saying. It's little things you think don't make a big difference. You're oh, it's just diabetes, whatever. And then you're oh, but you can't have marijuana. Well, was everybody high when they built that road? Because hire me, even high I do better. And I'll tell you why. Focus. My focus is better. My concentration is better. And of course, depending on the strain you get, or the this or the that, sativa versus indica. Of course, you don't really want indica if you're functioning and working, but the right strain of sativa, yeah, I'd be losing my voice, bro. It focuses me better, and my antennas still work. So I can get some marijuana in me, whatever, it might be a strain of, and it'll calm me. It'll shut down all this. I don't hear everything as much. It's so, I can't really even explain it. When you know, when you don't, you don't. If doesn't exist. If is limbo. It's not real. Well, when you say, if I do this, this happens. If I do that, that happens, you're already screwing yourself. It's when. When I do this, this happens. But when I do this, that happens. And when it's something that you don't do at all, then good. It doesn't exist because you don't do it. So only do the when. When I do this. When I walk for 5 days straight, I'll lose 2 pounds a week and gain leg muscle and peace in my brain for walking out in nature. When I, not if, that's not real. That doesn't happen. And that doesn't set your brain into doing it mode. Oh, Hannah, hey, shoes, Stitch. I was just bored, I guess. But yeah, that's the thing too. Like I said, it's undervalued, but people don't talk, they don't hang out, they don't get together, they don't, nothing anymore. So if you're out there and you were just sitting there and this showed up in your newsfeed, please pull over, talk, hit the like button, subscribe just for the sake of it. You can unsubscribe later. You really can. You can unsubscribe in 5 minutes. You can unsubscribe or unfollow tomorrow. If you're like, man, I really don't, you go look at my video, you're like, dude, I really, this chick is not, like, I don't want to see her shit. Like, what? This is invaluable to me. Not valuable, because people say it's invaluable, and I know they made it up and it means what it's supposed to mean, but it doesn't mean that, because in the beginning of a word means non. It's like D or un or non. Non-stick, it's in-stick, because it doesn't stick. But then when you enable something, somehow that means to actually embrace it and make it happen. But to disable, to non, disarm, non-arm, unarm, inimaginable. Like, people make words. They don't even know what the fuck they're making. They don't even know their own patterns. Let me be a language maker. I can do that. I've been learning some Duolingo. I've been learning Spanish. You know, whatever. La escuela. Mi maestro de viva. Just depends if it's masculine or feminine or whatever for some reason, but okay. Oh, you don't know what I said. Okay, I said I it was probably supposed to be yo, but whatever. Mi maestro just sounds better. Sounds cool, right? Right, exactly. Maestro, M-A-E-S-T-R-O. Mi maestro. De means like of or like from. So if you're like from America, it's de Americano or Americana. Again, masculine, feminine. O is male or masculine. A is feminine. La. So, escuela, school, to learn, to escuela. I don't know. To school. So, me, maestro, I'm teacher, or yo, maestro, de, of, or from, whatever, I don't know, that's probably wrong, but like, you get the general idea. What did I say? Life. Vivo, or viva. Viva Las Vegas. Live Las Vegas. I mean, that's literally what it's saying. So stupid. Living la vida loca. Living the life of loca. Living the crazy life. Living the life of crazy. Like, see? Exactly. I just gave you knowledge. For free. And all you have to do is subscribe, like, comment. Keep me in the algorithm. Get people watching my videos so that I get paid. You don't have to buy anything. YouTube will pay me. And then I can get like endorsements and stuff or whatever, something, and make money. I don't know. Yellow keeps coming up. So if this was like a channeled reading, if it was supposed to be a share, it was 4:20 on the clock earlier, by the way, when I paused this. So those were my ideas, yeah. And so also, like I said, like with marijuana, like let's legalize the shit out of that, because yeah, it definitely. It helps me. I'm not saying go all up into work like, how you doing? Because, like, duh. Get out of here. Go home. Because, first of all, you're not even going to make that burger fast enough. Plus, you just wore your apron into the bathroom. So, even though we're eating human burgers, humana de carne sac. Si. Even though we're eating human burgers, I'd really like your urine and whatever else between this nasty, grease-infested, disgusting. I smell like I am one of your burgers off of your nasty, unclean grill and your greasy walls and floors and tables, because we use a sanitizer that's diluted like 1% to 100% water. So everything here is clean, even though it smells so terrible. The floors are so greasy. When you walk in here and you don't have, even when you have slip resistant shoes on, you're gonna slip. So like, yeah, instead just order your food out there in the drive-thru on like an app, you know. We don't even need to see your face. Just like pull through, tell us like at the speaker, and then we're gonna tell you to like pull up to 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, and then we're gonna run out of spaces for that too. And you know, you're gonna have to come all the way back around because we didn't get your sauces, we missed your soda, we put ice in it when you said not to. The fries are always upside down in the bag or the Happy Meal. We did not put ketchup in the bag, even though I worked there. from like 2009 off and on to 2019. Oh my gosh, that's 10 years. And again, it was off and on, but like I'm telling you for real, we don't put the ketchup in the bag. The fries are upside down though, but they're in there. They're cold, they're rickety, they're falling apart and soft and mushy. But for sure, yeah, like just order your food online and then just, you know what, throw it all away because it's disgusting. Just keep wasting your money though, like keep coming back because we love that. I love that. I like getting $8.25 an hour to feed you human disgust. Yeah. We're not even going to talk about the formaldehyde. Yeah. Now I know why when people smoke their food, and I say it smells like dissected cat. We dissected cats in 8th or 9th grade in biology class. And I even used a cherry throat spray, and I cannot read the font on the back of that. I cannot do. What's it, size 2? 2-point font? What is it? Cannot read it to find out if there's formaldehyde in it. But I know there is something formaldehyde-like in it. How do you know that, Donna? Well, because I shot it into my mouth and almost threw up. And brushing my teeth and using mouthwash did nothing. It's a throat numbing cherry whatever, and it was so ungodly disgusting. And my husband was like, I love it, I'm using it. And I was like, get away from me. And then I tried it and I was like, what? I forgot that it smelled like formaldehyde. And that's what I'm calling it, because what else was there in the dissected cat? When I say, I'm sorry, but I can't eat any of this smoked food because it smells like formaldehyde. Like dissected cat. And someone says, formaldehyde, I guess. Like, it must be formaldehyde. Like, and y'all are still eating it. Y'all are still eating it. And the whole burial bullshit, it's bad for our environment to, like, burn bodies the way they did for hundreds of thousands of millions of trillions of years, and probably in the lifetimes before what we call a Big Bang and fight over. Yeah, like, it's so bad for our air, even though our entire planet was healthier back then. The end. Mic drop. It's over. That's it. That's all we needed to say. Like, I need a podcast, something fierce. I want to start one for show. But that's one thing I don't know how to do. Oh yeah, you can teach yourself anything. Go teach yourself that. Believe me, I want to. Problem is, everything needs to be paid for, and to pay for it you need to have excess money, and who in America has excess money? Go ahead, mic drop. I know you have to work yourself to death, have 3 or 4 jobs, and then you still have to pay for these things and subscriptions, and then you still have to dig your way up from the bottom because nobody likes you, because you're not pretty, you're not skinny, you're not what the people. I have clothes on, they're just these cut off shorts that I've got so rolled up. I'm 200 pounds and 5'2¼ I was gonna say, and I know everybody's gonna cuss me. No one is, because no one's gonna watch this, but so let's just say someone watches it. I'm about to say something that's gonna piss you off, so go ahead and walk away if you're a minority or if you're whatever. Do you know, like, when you fill out a job application and they're like, oh my gosh, like, what's your ethnicity? I'm pretty sure I've got Native American in me, and I've got a couple reasons as to why, but we'll just leave that lie there until I can afford to waste essentially money on a hereditary DNA, whatever it's called, thing to find out if I do have it in me. But if I don't, what is this crap? Okay, first of all, I'm not just Native. I'm gonna have some African in there, right? Like, it's there. Whatever. Like I said, I just love all the cultures. I love the idea of everyone blending together like we were supposed to, not the melting pot where they just stir us in and melt us down. Pay attention. Yeah, I get off track. Like, it's hard. I'm so beautiful though. Like, check it with this like clean smoothness. I have redness here all the time. Redness here, redness here. My mom always did. I do too. And up here is real red because we have been in the sun the last few days a lot. And right here is red and literally cracking, whatever it's called, peeling from my sunburn because we've been out in the sun the last few days and I've been getting burned up and all that. So but no, like, I'm not attractive. I get it. I get on, like, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and I see this girl, of course, and her superwoman looking. I'm not shitting on her. Before you even, I'm not. I love all over her shit. I love all over everybody. I give and I give and I give and I give and I give. And fucking nobody supports me. Not the people I know, not the people I don't know, not the people I've known for 30 years, not the people I've known for 37 years, even though I'm trying to make it so I can pay their bills. No, there's not an ounce of support. But there's this girl that gets on there like everybody else. Oh my gosh, puts her, the comment up there showing that somebody commented some rude ass shit. And everyone's like, you go, girl. You live in your power. You do you, baby. And I'm out here giving the A shit, like I said. Killing it. Trying so hard. Doing everything I can do. Showing everything that I am. Trying, like, I used to call myself the jack of all trades. Actually, I said Jill, because, like, Jack and Jill, reference to that. I should have said, like, Jane, just because Jane Doe and Jane, and I'm dead, and we all might as well be. Stardust. Not the wrestler. Yeah, I'm an interesting person. Like, I know that's right. But I'm also, like, the most boring person on the planet. I'm sorry about the air conditioner and me losing my voice. I don't even know where my water is. Oh, I got one right there. You can't see my brand. It's not a brand. I can afford it. Barely on food stamps. I said it. Yes, I did. I love Roseanne and Betty White and all the people. And I would love to be that girl. That person who's like the next so-called Roseanne. Like, I'll be your third class. Is that what it is considered? I don't even know if I'm third class, to be honest. I'll be like your third class, like, whatever, turn TV show girl. I absolutely will. I believe in it 110, baby. I'll be a Reba. I'll become a Reba. I love Reba. Ooh, girl. Love me some Reba. And some Roseanne. I knew it. I knew something was up. Like, I don't listen. I'm like, I don't sound right. Y'all are liars. They're always like, she said something racist, and that's why no one likes her anymore. And I was like, huh? That don't sound right. Only took a few years for it to come out. We all know now. Just like Michael Jackson. Ever since I was a kid, I love me some Michael Jackson. And I was like, first of all, I thought he was a Sagittarius forever because I Googled celebrities that are Sagittarius. And there was this huge list of names. And one of them was Michael Jackson. And one of them was Kanye West. And I never fucking looked into it again. I just took it on faith and went on with my life. And it turns out Michael Jackson's a Virgo. I realized this when I was watching some home designer show where I was watching the man. And I was like, either this guy's like closet gay or like, what is up with him? And so, like, but I recognize, like, how he moves, how he talks, like, all these things, like, So I Google him, and I'm like, okay, so basically to me, you're just, like, you're very feminine, and that's great. He's a Virgo. Guess who else is very feminine? Whose body build is very feminine? And who is Virgo? I'll wait, put it in the comments. Exactly, I said what I said. You couldn't tell me. You could not convince me that Michael Jackson did those things. You couldn't. 37. I remember setting, probably in 93, 94. You Google it and let me know, when did Thriller come out? Setting in our apartment in the living room in front of the TV like this. Watching Michael Jackson. Thriller. I also remember sitting over there. It wasn't here in our apartment. It was over here. The couch was against the wall. And my mom's bedroom was right, like, there. So, like, the couch was here where that fan is, essentially. And I'm sitting up on the back of the couch. And my mom, like, is essentially, her bedroom door is, like, right here, right? In this apartment in Farley Squares. Yeah. And we're watching the video, man. And my mom comes out. And she, like, creeps over and scares me. And I jumped so high that, whatever they say. She damn near hit the ceiling. I remember that. I love entertainment, and I don't think I've ever met someone who, maybe I played myself about them, but I don't think I ever met someone, when I was still living in my shadows, hadn't faced them, didn't know anything about all that. I've never read someone's character wrong. I mean, I'm not saying I know them at their heart or what they would or wouldn't do, but, like, I can pretty much tell you, it's pattern recognition. I can tell you who they are. Now, I'm not saying I'm correct about their intentions or this, that, and the other every time, but, like, because, again, in my shadow, there were other Sagittariuses, and I'll struggle, but, like, same thing, Britney Spears. I have loved her from the minute she popped on the scene. You can't tell me. You couldn't tell me. You couldn't tell me she was bad and wrong and naughty. You couldn't tell me something was wrong with her. You couldn't. I could tell you that you were a bunch of fucking judgmental ass, gaslight motherfucking small-minded ass, punk ass bitches who did it all for the nookie. Whatever. Sorry. I'm sure this will get CENSORED or kick the F off. That's fine. But it needed to be said. And I get sick of that too. Like, it's hard. But I can honestly say, like, I feel like I'm watching my reality unfold. I was told last year during the school year that someone is wanting people to basically go back to the barter system. And I don't know the extent of all that, but I think 99% of that is probably accurate and should happen. And not, like, I don't want just like, oh, everybody gets the same amount of money. Because let's face it, that ain't going to happen, first of all. And secondly, that's not fair or right. You know, everybody's like, I just want everything handed to me. Exactly. And I'm not saying I want it handed to me. I'm saying I worked and I was told that I was, you know, the Rory Gilmore. And I always look at, like, Gilmore Girls and think that's exactly right. Like, Amy Sherman Palladino and whoever else, like, they either knew this was coming or, you know, God, like, sent that message out, that generation. And I'm included in that. She was, like, class of, 2003 at high school, give or take. I was class of 07. But, like, these generations, it wasn't all of us, but there were some of us that it was like, wow, you were just so kind of ahead. You were ahead by a century. Like, you were ahead of your time. You were the cycle breaker, or you thought you were, or you were gonna be. But we think cycle breaking. I think, yes, I just got very calm. I can hear the wind in the trees. The sky's kind of dark over there, but I just got very calm. Not eerie calm, though. Like, people are listening calm, to be honest. Oh, I pray you are. I pray people's eyes are open. I pray for a spark. I pray for the passion. I pray that people are reached. I pray that this is worth the 56 minutes and 35 seconds of my life, not including, I'm not even done yet, Dragonfly. It's all Dragonfly. You shitting me. I was just talking about Gilmore Girls. What? Talk about a synchronicity, bro. Yellow. Saw some. Oh, the duck hat again. Probably saw a yellow washcloth, but that must have been my own brain flash. She was on it. Like, she was doing the eye-opening thing, and when that series, Gilmore Girls, ends, and then it comes back for A Year in the Life in 2016, I cannot believe they took it off Netflix. I'm so serious. When that show came back on, I was working at McDonald's again, and everybody was like, oh my god, like, who's the dad, and this and that, and the manager. I'm telling you, it was a manager who then left that job and got a job at a bank. And maybe these skills that I have are not needed in those places. That's fine. Was like, oh my gosh, like, I wonder who the dad is. And I was left sitting there. As when I first watched A Year in the Life, first of all, I didn't need to watch A Year in the Life to know what I'm about to tell you. Because I could be wrong, and that's fine. You know what I mean? That is fine. But going on that mindset, seeing it from that perception, if you see it from she broke the cycle, then the baby's not who I'm about to tell you it is. But she did not break the cycle. She, in fact, repeated the exact same cycle in opposites, which actually kind of took her in reverse. But also in the same, like, she just did it like 20 years later. Okay, so they're all like, oh my god, I want to know who the dad is to Rory's baby. If you don't watch Gilmore Girls, let me go ahead and tell you. Rory was kind of an entitled golden child of, like, for the 2000s, for like late 90s, but that show didn't, yeah, because it ended in 2007, so in the 2000s, okay, whatever year it started, like, let's say it was 2001, yeah, 7 seasons, and then it ended in 2007 when she graduated college, and then I graduated high school that year of 07, but anyway, so she's like the golden child, you know, the grandparents, super wealthy, the grandfather, Richard Gilmore's, like, an insurance, whatever, he's got this huge house, they've got a house in whatever, like, what's it called, Cape Cod, and, like, things like this, like, what's that other place called? They kept wanting to go have a wedding there or something. I keep wanting to say Myrtle Beach. It was not Myrtle, but it was a weird name like that. You know, one of those places, like that kind of thing. And then so Lorelai, her mother, the you know, the daughter of the wealthy family who wanted her to be the wealthy daughter person. You know, we want you to do the quinceanera, which is not what it is called at all. She is not Spanish at all. I just cannot think of these words all of a sudden. Coming out parties and such. They wanted to do all these things, and you know, Lorelai was the rebel, of course, like we all were that generation. Duh. I don't want to be anything my parents tell me to be. My parents are wrong. This is what I want. That's not what's best for me. And she was a rebel all the way up until she was in her 50s, in a year in the life, when she goes on a hike and like to find herself and realizes like, and she gets a touch of that. Lorelai gets a touch of recognizing it in like season, I don't know if it was 6 or 7 or whatever it was, when she tells Rory, she's sitting there staring at like a Pop-Tart and realizes, she's like, I don't even know if I like what I like. Because up to this point in my life, every decision I made it basically to drive my mother crazy, or to do anything that was her barometer. That was her compass, moral compass, whatever, life choice, decision making compass, was if my mother is appalled by it, it's good. And I was at my friend's house and I had a sleep, I don't know if it was like Navina Cutler or whatever this friend's name was. She was at somebody's house for a sleepover and they offered her Pop-Tart, and she just thought, she says, I just knew my mother would scoff, a Pop-Tart, Lorelai, that is not a suitable breakfast, or just whatever, right? Okay, so then in a year to life, she's like, oh my gosh, like, I wasted my whole life basically living in an unhealed version of myself, making up this world that I made up in my own head, not accepting the fact that, yeah, you know, my parents didn't want for me what I wanted for me, but that didn't mean that they were these evil monsters. Okay, and they're not. And I know everyone, narcissism, shut the up. Okay, have your opinion, put it in the comments. Share perceptions. Okay, let's do it. So that being said, let's move forward to what I was talking about. Rory Gilmore, who's the baby daddy. It's Logan, guys. Logan is Rory's Christopher. It's the relationship she won't let go of. I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to fix you. Bitch, fix yourself. Look at yourself. Hello, let go. Jess is the one for you, and he ain't gotta be. You can be single your whole life. I don't care. The Wookiee is not the dad. The Wookiee's not the dad. That was a stupid one night stand. That was not the dad. That happens like in the first or second season. You're not gonna be 6 months pregnant and not know it. A year in the life. Did you hear that? A year in the life. That is 3 months per episode. She's not going to get pregnant in the first or second half of that, because it's when she goes out and does the New York thing in the very beginning, and she's still trying to do this for this internet thing and to get a job through an internet being a writer. The dad is Logan. That's it. And I worked at McDonald's, and this manager was like, oh my God, like, I never thought of that. Again, maybe my superpowers are no good at a job. I saw something the other day that said, listen, some people don't make it. Some people got to be left behind to tell the story, and I already know I'm going to tell the story. When I got called to start just watching, it was Little House on the Prairie first, but then it was the Waltons. And I started watching the Waltons. I knew immediately that I resonated with Laura Ingalls, the character. Obviously, I've always known I'm a writer. I know I'm sees the big picture girl. Okay, I know it. And I'd be great in marketing, because that's essentially what I did in print shop. And because as much as I don't match clothing and this, that, and the other, I'm getting better at it now, but like, I can do that on paper. Like, I can get things and be like, nope, that doesn't look right. That doesn't say what I want it to say. That font doesn't have the energy. That doesn't send the message I want to send. This color goes better with this. I can do that. Okay, that's me. That's 110% me. So I watched some of, what was the show? It had Robin Williams and Sarah Michelle Gellar. God love her, love him. And I was like, dude, that's what I need to do. And then like, I was watching Younger, and they're like, they work for book stuff, marketing and whatnot, but like, you have to have some kind of a degree. Publishing. It's publishing. And not only am I a writer, so I know someday I'm gonna write a book. That's it. That's all there is to it. I'm like working on it now. I literally write down scenes and thoughts and things that can be considered channels to share with the universe, but also will eventually be in a book. I know that, period. That's it. Unless I just die tomorrow and it's too late and I wasted all my time and didn't apply my potential. But again, with the virtue and the follow through, yeah, the manager was like, oh my gosh, I never thought of that. But you're running essentially a multi-billion probably dollar company right now. Like, she wasn't running it, she was just a shift manager, you know what I mean? Like a day manager, not even a store manager, but you get the point. These are the people running America. They can't even see the big picture. And I'm telling you the answers to something. Like, get your eyes on your own fucking paper. And I just told you the answer. Like, it was so blatant to me. And again, maybe it's not. Maybe Amy Sherman Palladino's like, nah. I got other plans. I thought when I read, like, oh, the last 4 words of the show, she always knew what the last 4 words were going to be. And that's, I get that as a person who writes. And like I said, I've been writing things down here and there. And it's like piecing it together later. Putting it all together is the hard part. Finding out what happens and how the relationships evolve and who's who and what's what. Maybe that's not, but like, I used to think it was going to be like, I love you, kid. I love you too, kid. Because she said that a lot. But of course, when I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, it was so obvious. Especially because, of course, you think the last 4 words and you think, okay, it's going to be from one person. It wasn't until that happened that I was like, oh, of course, Donna. It didn't have to all come from one person. It was mom. Yeah, I'm pregnant. And that one's, is it a conjunction? It's not it's technically 2 words, but like, it's one of those. So, contraction, conjunction, I don't know. I actually was not good at those parts of English when I was a kid. And learning those parts. And I actually failed an English class when I was in college. Which, mind you, wasn't just because I refused to apply myself while I was working 2 jobs and going to college, and then eventually pregnant and trying to keep my son alive, going back and forth to Cincinnati Hospital to keep him alive, and then to deliver him, and then after that to be up there again for the seizure issue, which my husband's ex at the time, I saw the emails later on his Facebook account that got deleted, where she was like, oh, so Donna texted and said William's having seizures, but you know. Like, but you know what? What the fuck do you know? Exactly, you don't. You know that you're a dirty ass, nasty, self-centered, rotten crotch, narcissist, cunt. That's what the fuck you know. And I'm talking about that person back then. Different person now. She's a different person now. It ain't about her. It's not about me. That fire's there. I don't know if it's ever gonna leave, y'all. I thought it was gonna leave. But when I get to talking about it, when I get to talking about it, let's not talk about it. Yeah, that's the kind of, that's my chest again, like I feel like I could throw up. That's what that is. Times in my life, like I said, when I wanted to, I always say I had my Brittany 2007, it was Donna 2011, and it was 2010 into 2011, but she put on a front in 2010, and eventually, boom, 2011, and me with the knot. Like, the amount of restraint that I've had in my life to not do the things that I could have done when I should have done what I should have done to the people who it should have been done to. And then being like, it is done. I'm sorry, you implying you put a spell on me? You implying you have any kind of power over me? I think you did. I will be honest. When, I'm not going to say if, but when you and your little crony friends thought they was Wiccan and putting a spell on me, I agree. You put a spell on me. You absolutely did. But I'm going to take that power back real quick and go ahead and tell you that wouldn't have worked had I not cared so much. It wouldn't have. I was married. We're going on 4 years living here, so give or take. Oh, wait. We're on 11 years or we're going on 12 years? Being married. 2014. You did math. 10. Going on to 11. This July does not make 10 years, so I'm sorry if that's what that's looking like. It's not. This year, this July, this 25th of July makes whatever I just said, like 11 years, 11 or 12 years, I don't know. That we've been back together and then that we've been married. Up until, I want to say a year ago, actually. A year or two. I feel like it was more than just a year ago. We've been in some weird loop, though. 2 or 3 years ago, I started this little bitty journey and doing like watching tarot and channeling and Reiki, and I was watching Reiki healing and cutting cords. And let me tell you, I went to sleep feeling one type of way one night after watching, it's here on YouTube, Michael, and it's Reiki healing with Archangel Michael. He is amazing. He looks like Jesus. You'll know if you find the right account. He looks like Jesus. No shit. Well, the image that, you know, they show us of Jesus. And I just loved him. But anyway, I went through a summer for a while watching them videos, and I definitely did a cord cutting, and after the first one, I noticed it immediately. The next morning, it was like waking up from a spell. I was more capable of pulling myself out of other people's energies, certain people's as well. So maybe it did cut a cord when I did that. Maybe I took someone's evil eye off of me, maybe whatever. Maybe I just was starting to pull myself away. Like I said, humans live more emotionally than anything. I also saw something recently about that, saying like, you know, humans are very emotional beings, like first and foremost, above all other things. And I absolutely believe that. And a lot of us get stuck in it. That I've noticed, seen, witnessed, observed, felt, experienced. Doesn't mean it's true for you. I'm not telling you who you are, what you are, when you are, where you are, or how you are. But I know I was. Everything was personal to me. Whether that's an ADHD thing, an autistic thing. I know I've got massive abandonment, but rejection, sensitivity, I have massive, and I've watched my children go through it. So it's not just me trying to claim something for myself. Watching my children grow and learning how to love them properly, correctly, and right, and healthily, in a non-ego way, kind of unbiased from the outside, I can honestly say I believe all, when not at least 2 of my 4 living biological children have very high rejection sensitivity, and their self-esteem is really controlled and, I want to say deteriorated, but I don't know that that's the word, but it's like massively affected by, you know, their ego and their perception of being rejected, and taking that personally, that it has anything to do with them instead of it having to do with the situation, the person, the whatever's going on, you know. It's like, I didn't make this decision because of something about you. I made this decision for the greater good of all, or because I can see what's about to happen. And it's not about your inability to function. It's not about you being, you know, incapable. It's not any of that. You know, because again, we think it's all about us. And maybe I'm a narcissist. That's fine too. I mean, that's fine. I don't care anymore. I'd rather be a narcissist who knows herself and lives a successful life at this point, and alone, because I'm alone anyway. What does it matter? You see anybody on this couch? You see anybody sitting here talking to me? No, I'm talking to you through a screen, because ain't nobody fucking here. I talk to my fucking plants. They'll probably be alive after today. They'll be like, oh my gosh, stop talking. You know, hour and 12 minutes. I can't help it. It's addicting. And I had coffee. So dance, write, draw, anything. Create. Just create. And it will revive your whole soul. It will revive your entire soul. You know. And I really think, like, my eyesight, for example, I feel like I know my eyesight's gotten really bad. I technically need, what are those called? Bifocals. But I've had them and they suck. They're awful. They're terrible. I would rather do this to read what I'm reading, or just carry a little magnifying glass everywhere I go. Or you can just use your phone, zoom in, take a picture, whatever. I'd rather do that any day of the week than to wear bifocals. I'd rather get an eye surgery. I was going to get an eye surgery on my eye, because I wasn't going to. I was offered to when I was about 16, 17. Honestly, I was old enough. It should have been but I wasn't going to do it anyway. 1333. I saw something earlier as well with 13 in it, and I did not mention it, but I just had been like bringing up the 143, 413, 341, you know, so much that I just didn't want to, but it was there. But my left eye is considered my lazy eye, which I no longer think is lazy, and I know that's just like a quick, easy term my doctor said it's an astigmatism, and I think he said something about it was actually pretty incredible that I can control it, because sometimes I can. I'm controlling it a lot here because I have a camera. I can look at myself, like, as weird as that sounds. Like, hey, I'm looking at myself without looking at myself. Even right now, as I'm like looking at the screen, I can feel my left eye, and it's not even my eye. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, it's my brain. It's like my brain, my attention is going somewhere else. So my attention starts to go somewhere else. Guess what? So does my fucking eye. And I can't explain that to you. Like, it should be studied, probably. But I wouldn't get rid of it. I always felt like it was too much, and nowadays I feel like it's definitely my superpower. You know, like that Percy Jackson. 110, because like my daughter's left-handed, for example, and like I can write left-handed, and I can write how she tries to write, which is the actual natural, the first natural way humans write, which is more like Chinese and whatnot, from the right to the left, not from the left to the right, which my camera's reversed, so that messes it all up. So this is my actual left hand, but it looks like my right hand on screen, but this is my right hand and my right arm. So, but yeah, I can write like mirror style, even in cursive. I can write backward, D-O-N-N, and I don't write it like everyone else. Stay. It's not the easiest ton. Yeah, as opposed to correctly, it's D-O-N-N-A. But Autumn was writing earlier, and she's left-handed, and she writes from over here to over here, A-U-T-U, and then she'll just put the letters everywhere, and it's like, that's okay. She's 4. She's 4. Number 1, she'll be conditioned like everybody else. What is that from? Why do I do that? There is a movie or a show, and I just enjoy doing it. It's like so emphasizical. It's emphasis, and it's fun. Hi, pretty birdies. We got a bird house which lost its roof earlier. It got knocked over by that big tree that kind of fell down right here. It's not like a tree. This one right here. That direction is undirectional for me right now. Right here. Yep, that tree. You see it right here. This was like a tree thing that was there, and it was growing. It's more of like a weed tree, I think. There's one back there as well by my son's window. It's real huge, adds to some shade, so I didn't take it down this year. I was like, we need shade. I want a pergola built, but that hasn't happened because I have to do it all myself, which is fine, but I have to buy the materials and then have the patience and the time, because I'm learning something new. Learning new things is difficult for me. I have to be able to focus, pinpoint, boom, bam, bang, you know, about to go in there and tear my car apart, you know, so that I can fix it. Trying to get nature out here. I put all these plants out in freaking May, early June. It's unbelievable. Summer's over. I mean, not for you. You're probably like, whatever. It's not, but it is. I'm starving. Shoot, I need to go eat, drink some broth. I want to lose weight, so I'm like, drinking broth, drink water, drink the sport, because it's electrolytes, and I'm not eating. Need electrolytes to stay hydrated and energized, and no sugar and all those things. So try to save my food for my kids, and just lose weight. I mean, look, because I can promise you, if I could lose all this weight in a month, first of all, people are like, oh my god, a month, how'd you do it? So that's fine, but also I'll look better, and people will be like, oh wow, look at her. And it's not just that. Like, in today's world, not only were we told that being thin is like admirable, it's a goal, be thin, be fit, and now it's be toned and have a big booty and a big breast. And I don't want big breasts. My back already hurts. It gets numb in between my blades. I got my back, when I bend over and stand back up, my posture's so bad that the center of my back, I can feel it go and stop. And apparently it's possibly a disc situation where I'm like slouched so bad, and then to save itself when I come up. This is what I read. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Don't diagnose this. Blah blah. But my back will literally just like stop. And so I move really slow because I already know it's going to happen. So, what's the point in going to the doctor? You're like, well, go to a doctor. There's no point. I've been to a doctor so many times, and my doctor will send me to these great specialists. They sent me to like a sports specialist for sports injuries. And you know what they told me about my back, where I feel like I have a knot back there that's tied up too tight? They told me that, and they may be right, it could have something to do with it. I'm sure also my lazy, sedentary lifestyle hasn't helped any. I'm not saying I'm not responsible. I'm saying there's no point in going to the doctor because it doesn't fix anything. It just takes time out of my life and charges care source or whatever, and what's the point in that? So, I'll go, and he's like, I think that because where you go, fuck. He's mad. Where you went into labor, even though, you know, you never actually went into labor. No, like, I didn't dilate one time out of 5 C-sections, sweetheart. Hello. And we only tried with the first 2 because the one was far enough apart that, you know what I'm saying? We don't want no trees falling.
We're coming back out here to play.
Okay, well, you come out here and play. What's that talking about? Damn, that sucks. I always be forgetting. I can't rewind it. I can't nothing, because if you don't upload it all at once, you can't do it, and I can't. I even downloaded YouTube Studio thinking it would have, like, editing needs. You can't. I haven't found it. You know, I'm stupid, obviously. I have to kind of, and I am, because I do kind of got to be, like, hand-fed information, but once I do, and, like, I get comfortable and start understanding and Googling, I can make it happen. I'll be the first to tell you I have a learning disability. I'm the only person I really know. I have joked, but, like, I'm serious, and I don't mean any whatever. I'm the most LD person who was not in LD classes. Now, yeah, there was times when I was in the less advanced, as they considered it, classes. That year in math class in 9th grade, when I figured out that people didn't understand my words, I had been moved into what was supposed to be intermediate math or something. I got moved there from algebra something with all the advanced kids. And I'll tell you what that was. I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. I had my first real heartbreak that summer from 8th grade into 9th grade. I dated a boy and I was head over heels for him, but I'm still me. And so I kept breaking up with him thinking, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be with someone, you know, my best friend. My best friend's gay. Come on. Which back then he wasn't like out and out, but like it was obvious. And I was just so heartbroken, and it was like nobody could see me. Like no one was looking. No one fucking knew. You know what I mean? So there was that. And then, so I was in 9th grade, and I didn't really understand the math, and no one else understood, and they didn't understand how to make me understand. And so then one time, you know, one day my teacher, like, pulls me out of class in the hallway, and he's like, you know, how do you feel about this? Like, how do you feel about this math class? Do you think you're, and I'm like, it's a challenge, you know? I'm like, I'm not trying to be given up anytime soon.
The same sound of thunder is over there. I hear everything.
That's crazy, the same sound of thunder.
It's coming from right there.
Yeah.
And it always sounds the same, except for just now it sounds
Yeah.
It always comes from.
It always comes from over there.
Or maybe that's just our left here.
No. Well, and you know, sometimes what happens, sound travels, it's actually happening over that way, and then you hear it on the opposite. I do that a lot, but I don't know. Probably. So that's what happened with that, but I was like, it's a challenge. Yeah, like, this class is a challenge, but, like, I wanted to do it, I wanted to be capable of it, but I wanted someone to fucking understand that, like, I was fucking hurting. And I also got my period that summer. I hit puberty, yeah. A lot of fun. And like I said, if I could self-diagnose, I would tell you. I think that was a truck somewhere over that way, but I think, yeah, it's a truck or a car over on that side of the road across the creek. I don't know what that sound was. I forgot. I would self-diagnose, though, because, again, I was also a late bloomer. My mom was as well. My mom had these same similar issues, but she was from, you know, the 50s. And she didn't get more than, like, an 8th or 9th grade education. She was raising her siblings, a.k.a. brother and sister, because her mother, you know, was her. You know, I used to really have badness for her, but I have a lot more empathy and compassion for her mother now, just because I have been a mother and a wife for some odd 15 years. I don't mean to, like, freak out. I don't freak out. But, I mean, I want to be prepared. If I see a tornado, I'm getting my kids in my basement, which is kind of useless because, you know, it floods. But we can swim and float. Literally, my 4-year-old can swim and float, basically. But, so, yeah. So then they took and they switched me from that math class with my grade, with 9th graders, to an something with an I swear. Some kind of math, intermediate math or something, with a bunch of 10th graders. People who were a grade above me. Make that make sense. Like, not, but because you put me in a, you were like, you're too stupid for algebra for 9th graders. But you can do math with 10th graders, surely. And being in that class, I remember, because I didn't want to be with any of them. I was judgmental. I didn't know how to have fun. I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to nothing. I felt like I was being judged and hated and all the things.
Hey, the lightning's most likely a sandstorm. And if it goes to the ground, when was the last time lightning actually hit the ground?
I don't know.
Like, it's always in the sky.
Yeah. Well, last time something happened, a tree branch fell in our garage. I know that.
Yeah, but I think, actually, I'm pretty sure, I don't know how that could have been prevented.
Well, it's just a storm when you got a weak branch already. And it might happen. We all might need to go run and hide.
Us?
Everybody. If those fall on our house, we're screwed. Well, we got house insurance, but I'm sure they'll say it doesn't pay for that because insurance is just a fucking scam.